everyone, it's Nikki here, and today we're back for day 6 of our 10 days of yoga to help us de-stress. So we have another gentle practice. You may notice the first 95% of these stretches you could do seated, but we will be doing some on the ground. So I do recommend, even if you don't have a mat, come join me on the ground, just a little bit of space, and we're going to get started with the upper body. So let's just start by inhaling, shrug up the shoulders. As we exhale, roll them down and back. Do that 2 more times. Nice big inhale. And down and back. Last one. Good. Let's bring this to full circles here. Pinching the shoulder blades at the back, trying to bring the shoulders together at the front, getting a nice full range of motion. Getting the arms involved just a little bit. One more in whatever direction you're doing, probably behind, and then we're going to switch it up. So I'm going to come forward now. Beautiful. Now let's keep on with the arms. Let's start with a tricep stretch. So I'm going to take my right arm, bring it behind, palm facing up. I'm going to use my left hand to press it down. And I'm going to stay nice and tall for 1 breath. And then this time as I exhale, I'm going to pull myself over to the left, so I'm stretching out the right side body as well. Still getting that nice tricep stretch. This is really hard on your body. You don't have to do the lean, but we're really focusing right here on the posterior side of the arm, right down the side of the body. Keep that chest facing forward. Good. 1 more big breath. And then I'm going to inhale, come up, keeping that right arm. I'm going to bring it up across the body, hook it with the left arm, make sure I drop that shoulder. I'm just going to pull that arm towards the left and a little bit behind me to get a nice stretch on the back of the shoulder and the back of the upper back, right where that shoulder blade is. We're still sitting nice and tall. Yes, I'm seated cross-legged. If this doesn't work for you, you can also kind of move your feet around, adjust them, let them go wide. This is just how I chose to sit today. 1 more stretch here. Beautiful. We're going to release and go right into the left side with the cross shoulder stretch. So I'm going to bring the left arm, hook the right arm, drop the shoulder. Don't worry, we'll do the tricep after. And again, I'm going to pull my arm a little bit behind me, and a little bit towards that right, as I let that left shoulder relax. Nice and deep here. Beautiful. Maybe focus on lengthening on those inhales and pulling a little deeper as you exhale. Just 1 more breath here. Beautiful. Release that left arm and bring it up behind you, palm facing back. Right hand comes on top of the shoulder. And I'm just going to let myself pull over to the right. Remember, you don't have to. If you don't like that move, you can stay up nice and tall. But I still want to keep the spine long. It's just a little crunch on the right side body. Nice lateral bend here. Beautiful. Keep breathing. Letting yourself relax and melt deeper and deeper. And then 1 more big breath here. Beautiful. Inhaling, coming up. I'm going to release both arms. We're going to do a little neck stretch. I always like to just start by looking side to side, nice, slow and controlled, and looking as far over my shoulder as I can. You can have your hands by your side or palms on your knees, whatever feels good, just to start us off here. Remember, focusing on length with that spine. I'm just going to do 1 more each side. Beautiful. I'm going to bring my right ear to my right shoulder. Right hand comes on top of the head, just relaxing, no pulling here. If you want to go deeper, you can take your left hand and press it into the mat. You'll see how this activates and deepens that stretch on that left side. Beautiful. Keeping the rest of your spine long. It's just that cervical, those neck spine that we are bending in here. You know, so a big key here is keeping our spine long today. Just twisting and hinging at the right spot to get that nice deep stretch. And then keeping my hands where they are, I'm just going to turn my head so my nose is facing my armpits. You'll feel the stretch move a little bit more behind you in the back of the neck. Again, you have the option to keep pressing that left hand down to the mat beside you, or You can move it, let it relax, whatever feels good for you. Making sure we're not pulling on the neck ever, just getting that nice extra weight from our arms to add to that stretch. One more big breath here. Good. Releasing the neck. I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to bring my left ear to my left shoulder. And again, just bring the right hand on top to add the weight. Maybe lifting the chin up just a little bit. Or you can press that right palm into the mat, deepening and activating those muscles, making this a nice active stretch here. Keep breathing. Sitting tall. Just letting the neck stretch, feeling those muscles just slightly releasing. We don't have a big range of motion here, so don't expect big changes here. When you're ready on that next inhale, nose to armpit, hand is still on the top of the head, chin is tucked this time as you feel the stretch now more on the back of the right side of that neck. Focus on sitting tall. You may find yourself starting to slouch down. Keep it nice and tall here. Good. One more big breath. I'm going to release that left hand, bring the neck back up. Just give your head a little shake. No and yes, just to release the neck. We're going to go back into a little more shoulder work. So as you inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, we're going to sweep them down. Right arm is underneath, crossing at the elbows, eagle arms. I'm going to wrap my hands once or twice around. If this is absolutely too hard, you grab opposite hand, opposite shoulder, right? You can even just have your hands once around. I'm going to pull my hands up shoulder height. So you may feel this already as a nice deep stretch on that upper back. So we're just going to hold this for 2 breaths. I'm just going to turn so you can see my spine here. One more breath like this. Good. Now as you inhale, lift your hands up overhead, push the chest forward, a little arch in the back. And as you exhale, crunch elbow to navel, rounding the back backwards. 2 more of these. Nice big inhale up. Lift those elbows up, gaze to the sky, and crunch. 1 more up. Good. 1 more down. Inhale back to neutral, just 1 breath here. And we're going to release arms, sweep them back up. Inhaling up. This time I'm going to cross left elbow underneath, right arm on top, and you can twist once or twice around. You can get the palms to touch, great. If not, and that's painful, hands grab shoulders. Let's pull those elbows up, nice shoulder height, sitting nice and tall to start here. Just taking those initial breaths. You may feel this right across the upper back, maybe in the shoulders. Last breath like this. And when you're ready, let's inhale. Lift the arms up overhead, elbows to sky, push that chest forward. Exhale, navel and elbow try and touch, rounding the back. Inhaling, coming up. Go as high as you can, move nice and slow. Exhale, nice and crunch. 1 more of each. Slow and control here. Coming back to neutral on that next inhale. Nice exhale here. And we're just going to release those arms, get those shoulders a little shake out. Hopefully you felt that cool shoulder complex work. We are going to come onto our knees now into a nice child's pose. I usually prefer a nice wide-legged child's pose, but you can choose whatever works for you. For me, I'm going to bring my knees mat width apart, big toes together, and as I exhale, I'm going to sink the hips down, forehead to the ground, as I walk the fingertips out. And I know some people don't like this, especially on their knees. You can also stay in that cross-legged position and just fold forward, reaching those fingertips forward. And usually I say don't pull your shoulder blades out of the socket, but this time I want you to walk those fingertips out of their sockets. Getting them as far forward as you can. That's it. Enjoying these nice deep breaths here. Just 1 more just like this. ready, we're going to inhale, coming up to that nice tabletop position. If your knees are wide, walk them in. Find a nice neutral spine. Take a nice big breath here. Exhale out. And you're going to walk my hands forward, going into a nice puppy pose. So you can bow, trying to keep your knees and hips stacked. So you're just bringing your forehead to the ground. Our goal is eventually get that chest to the ground. If you want to go deeper, you can bring the chin to the ground so you look forward. I'm going to choose forehead to the mat today, and we're stretching out again across the shoulders, the pecs. We're trying to melt our armpits to the mat as we get this nice little back bend. Letting yourself get a little deeper, trying to press that chest to the mat. Beautiful. 2 breaths here, slow and deep. And last one. Beautiful. If you're not already, forehead on the ground, walk your hands under your shoulders, press yourself up into tabletop, and you can just side saddle any way you want. So we can come into a nice wide-legged position. So if you're on a really hard surface, you may want to walk yourself back so your feet are on the mat, so they're a little cushion. I'm going to keep them nice and flexed here. So we're going to do a little leg work here. I'm going to inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, just start with that nice fold forward. And I like to do a little rocking here. You'll feel this opening across those inner thighs, letting the head hang. And I like to imagine every time I rock back and forth, I'm trying to get a little lower and lower. You may be way lower to the ground than me. You may be higher. Don't judge yourself. Just notice where you are. Taking a nice big breath here. And as you exhale, just try and go a little further. That's it. Find a nice comfortable spot just for 2 breaths. And then last one here. And then I'm going to walk my hands right over to my right leg, trying to square my chest off and fold forward. You may notice your left hip wants to come up, but keep it down on the ground. If you can reach your foot, you can, or you can grab your calf, your shin, whatever feels comfortable. I can reach, but I find it's a little more comfortable just to grab my shin and keep the elbows bent. Now, just an important setup, no matter how you're grabbing, you're going to want to have your hands on either side. Okay? Sometimes I do different variations of the stretch, but today we're going to do a nice little twisted side bend here. So I'm going to start with the side bend. So I'm going to keep my right arm on the outside of my right leg and sweep my left arm up and over. So you can touch your toes if you cave in, but your goal is to keep your chest facing forward. I'm supported by my right arm, and I'm stretching out now right from the hip all the way up the side body, reaching for those toes. If you find you're collapsing under, just open the armpit to the sky. Maybe look up a little bit towards the sky. That's it. Beautiful. Just one more big breath here. This is where we're going to add the twist in. So bring your left arm back down to the ground. This time I'm going to grab the outside of my left foot, leg, wherever you can. Sorry, right leg with my left hand. So the left hand's on the outside of the right leg. Right hand's going to come right behind me, reaching away, fingertips point away as I look over that right shoulder. So just a little twist. I am spreading my arms apart. I am supported, especially on that right arm. And I'm using my left hand to press into that right leg to go a little deeper. Making sure there's never any pain here. If there is, you can just come up a little bit. It just might mean that we're not quite supporting your spine as much as it needs to be. Still keeping the core tight here, as always, just to be a little more protective. That's it. Give me one more big breath here. And then I'm going to walk my right hand to meet my right leg. We'll bring my hands back in the center into that nice forward fold. I'm going to let the head hang again. Maybe walk the fingertips out and just hold this pose here. Nice wide-legged seated fold. One more big breath. Beautiful. And then I'm going to walk my hands towards my left leg. Again, framing the left leg. The right hip will want to come up, but we're going to keep it down, and I'm just going to square myself off. So this is a lot going to depend on that hamstring flexibility, whether you're deeper or not on this side, so don't judge. Just go so you feel that nice stretch right on that left leg. Just folding a little deeper here. And let's set ourselves up in our last breath, so make sure your hands are on either side of your left leg. And I'm going to make sure I'm leaning into that left arm. If you're not on the arm, onto the palm, and sweep the right arm up and over, head reaching towards my left toes. And again, if you find yourself collapsing, we're going to open the arm to the sky, open the gaze to the sky, so you really feel this nice side body stretch. That's it, beautiful. Going nice and deep here. Enjoying each and every exhale as we melt a little more. Give me one more big breath. Beautiful. So I'm going to take my right hand, bring it back down to the outside of that left leg, so I'm squared off again. I'm going to take that left arm straight behind me, fingers point away. As I look over that left shoulder, right hand comes to the outside of the left leg, just wherever it's grabbing, it's pushing to help you twist a little more. Remember, any pain, and you can come up a little bit more, keeping that core nice and tight. And if it's not, just suck it in just a little bit. Feel that bracing feeling. That's it, beautiful. Still melting on those exhales, but also twisting this time. Last breath here. Beautiful. I'm going to bring my left arm back to meet my left leg. I'm going to sit all the way up this time. Bring my feet together, cross them, or whatever is comfortable for you. We're just going to finish up with a few wrist rolls here. Taking into our wrists. We do a lot of texting and typing, and it's a lot of strain on those wrists. Just give them a nice little release. Still sitting nice and tall. Let's switch directions with those wrist rolls. Beautiful. I'm going to clasp my finger intertwining. I'm going to push my fingers away from me, and then inhale, lift them up overhead. Let the shoulders pull up. And just do a little side to side here. I'm focusing on those fingers. I'm really just pushing them up. Core is tight. Good. Coming back to center. Last breath here. Release the fingers. Shake those wrists out. And you guys are good to go for today's little stretch. Thank you for joining me. This was more of a stretch. Still yoga infused, so I hope you enjoyed the upper body work. We got a little lower body as well. And as always, from the light in me to light in you, namaste. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to grab some water.